Good day to all, especially to the dynamic people and organizers of the International Integrated Research Conference. It is an honor to present this humble work to this prestigious gathering. I am Mr. Domenic Sanchez, a faculty member and CLE instructor of Cebu Technological University, Naga Extension Campus, City of Naga, Cebu, Philippines. Growing vegetables at home is a pleasant and productive activity, as the authorities impose community quarantine. As a result of a pandemic, people are advised to stay at home and follow health and safety protocols. Quarantines may have some unforeseen adverse effects on some people. Therefore, home gardening contributes to the physiological and psychological well-being of adults and the elderly. In urban areas, because spaces that do not meet the elements of vegetable garden, container gardening is an ideal alternative. Introduction. This research presentation entitled Containerized, Okra, Lady's Fingers, Abelmoschus, Esculentus, Organic Fertilizers is sold for growth highlights the growth of okra. One of the most common is to grow nutritious vegetables for homegrown container gardening. Chicken manure, vermicompost, and organic liquid bioinoculants were the organic fertilizers used to distinguish the growth effect of containerized okra labeled as groups A, B, and C and observed for 8 weeks. The chicken manure, a good source of nitrogen for plant growth, had been sun-dried for 1 month. The use of chicken manure as agricultural input promotes soil fertility. Fertile soil leads to healthier plants, which would amount to higher yields. Moreover, vermicompost was harvested 1 week before its actual use in the study. Vermicompost is rich in beneficial microbes that contribute to thriving soil environment that help plants to grow. Materials and method. The seed originated from the okra's moss green variety. Recycled plastic cups were used as temporary containers until the seedlings were ready to be transplanted into their permanent containers. The indication of the transfer of seedlings would be the appearance of 2 to 4 real leaves. The potting mixture used as the starting growing medium of the seeds consists of 25% garden soil, 25% vermicompost, 25% carbonized rice hull, and 25% commercialized coco peat. Soil and coconut peat have been solarized or exposed to sunlight for 1 week to eliminate possible threats to fungi and pathogens that would be detrimental to seed germination. As the true leaves appeared among the seedlings, they were transferred to permanent containers. The tables presented show the parameters of organic fertilizer application. For chicken manure and vermicompost, 16 tablespoons or 1 cup is applied every 7 days as basal fertilizer. In addition, the study incorporates basal and foliar solution or organic liquid bioinoculants. First is fish amino acid. It is the byproduct of fermentation process of fish entrails and other parts no longer needed for household use. This is done by preparing and mixing the equal amount of fish entrails and brown sugar. The mixture is kept in a covered jar. After 20 days, the extract could be harvested and stored in a plastic bottle. Fish amino acid is an organic liquid bioinoculant fertilizer that boosts plant growth during its vegetative stage as the primary source of nitrogen and other trace minerals. The second type of liquid bioinoculant is the fermented fruit juice developed by Dr. Han Kyu-Chu of South Korea. In this study, due to availability, banana and mango peels were used as raw materials. It is prepared by mixing 1 kilo of fruit peelings with 1 kilo of brown sugar. The ideal fermentation time would be 7 to 10 days. After the fermentation period, the liquid part is then collected and ready to use. Fermented fruit juice activates enzymes and increases soil nutrients. In particular, it supplies potassium to plants. And the third type of liquid bioinoculant is calcium phosphate, a liquid fertilizer made from fermentation of eggshell and coconut vinegar. However, eggshells take time to decompose in the soil to allow plants to absorb the much needed amount of calcium, so that vinegar, preferably from fermented pure coconut, is integrated to induce a chemical reaction to extract calcium. If eggshells are pulverized and roasted under low heat and are soaked in vinegar, phosphorus could also be extracted together with the calcium. So instead of discarding the eggshell, mix it into 5 parts of the coconut vinegar. Allow the fermentation process to take place after 15 days to 20 days. Calphos is readily available. The application of the organic bioinoculants is based on the table which shows the certain amount of either fermented fish amino acid, fermented fruit juice, and calphos to the ideal amount of water dilution. For example, 1/4 liter of water is sufficient for 3 teaspoons of any of the 3 types of bioinoculant which was applied to okra plants as basal and foliar fertilizer. As to treatments to containerize okra, okra plants that belong to Group A have a growing medium mixture of 50% solarized garden soil and 50% chicken manure, while those that belong to Group B have a growing medium mixture of 50% solarized garden soil and 50% vermicompost, and those that belong Group C have a growing medium of 100% solarized garden soil. However, the soil has been drenched with liquid bioinoculant. Results. The result has confirmed average growth rate after 8 weeks that the growing effect of chicken manure as a basal fertilizer on Group A was satisfactory at 33.7 centimeters. Interestingly, the effect of vermicompost as basal fertilizer in Group B was unsatisfactory at 14.9 centimeters, whereas the effect of liquid bioinoculant as basal and foliar fertilizer was very satisfactory at 37.1 centimeters. Groups A, B, and C were okra plant subjects transplanted in 5-gallon containers after showing 2 to 4 real leaves. According to the observed result, the average height of the subjects ranged from 7.2 centimeters to 7.6 centimeters based on post-transplant data. The growth height was taken manually every week using a metric calibrated measuring tool. The basis for the growth assessment of each subject was from the base of the plant stem to its growing point. After transplantation, there was a 10-day gap period before growth began to be monitored and recorded. This was also the time when different fertilizers were introduced to each of the subjects. Group A has been fertilized with chicken manure, Group B was employed with vermicompost, while Group C was treated with liquid bioinoculant. Fertilizers were applied weekly or every 7 days to plant subjects for 8 weeks. Conclusion. The report addresses much of growing containerized okra in home gardening. The scope of the study is limited only to the observation of growth rates of okra plants during the vegetative phase, using 3 types of organic fertilizers identified as chicken manure, vermicompost, and organic liquid bioinoculants. Both chicken manure and vermicompost are also limited to basic basal fertilizers. Future research efforts may be undertaken to identify a different outcome of such organic fertilizers as a form of foliar fertilizer for containerized gardening. In addition, the potency of vermicompost depends largely on the quality of the substrate or organic materials fed to African night rollers. In this study, the impact of bioinoculants has been shown to have a superior effect on containerized okra plants as basal and foliar fertilizer. Therefore, the use of liquid bioinoculants as basal and foliar fertilizer for home gardening is recommended. This ends my presentation. Thank you very much and have a nice day.